install the new gear car. We're going to install it into this new model Holden Verena. Okay, before we can proceed with the installation, we have to do a few checks on the car to make sure all the systems, the electronics, everything is working fine. For example, we have to make sure all the locking mechanisms work fine. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the car and make sure all the electronics work well. Okay, so speakers, there's sound. Make sure the wipers work fine. Make sure that all the doors work fine. The AC is working fine. We're going to check the lights. The lights are working fine. Now we're going to start the car just to make sure that the ignition is working fine. Okay? Now that we've done that, we can proceed with the installation. Okay, now that we've checked our car's systems, everything's good, I'll just give you a quick look at the components that come in them. This is obviously your new gear car, the control panel or control module. There's an antenna. There's also a Bluetooth antenna, dual shock sensor, RFID, RPS. This here is your personal control center. You carry it around with you. You can do anything you want with your car using this. And here's a more simpler keychain accessory that comes with it, as well as, of course, your ignition, your touch ignition starting. Okay, just going to quickly show you the tools you'll need to get the job done today. I've got a couple of Phillips heads, small and a big one, some pliers, one of these, 85 spanner, 85, electrical tweezers, a knife. This is a 10mm ratchet, some electrical tape, an amps measurer, some wire strippers, and some of these doobies. I forget what they're called off the top of my head, but you know how they work. Yeah, stick them in there and hold. So some of these. So you'll need these things to get the job done today. Okay. The new gear car has 4 major cables coming out of it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of wires. Some of these wires we're going to be keeping, some of them we're going to be getting rid of because we don't need them all. We have in the guide, there's a list of all the different wires that we keep. Black ones for keeping, little lines there for ones we're going to be chopping off and getting rid of. So in a moment, I'm going to show you exactly which lines we need and which lines we don't. Okay, what we're going to do now is show you how all the different cables connect and tell you exactly what they do. This part is very important because if you connect incorrectly, your system's not going to work and you could have problems later. Okay, so this is the first cable. As you can see, it's a 6-hole. This is your main power cable. Now this handles all the power that comes from the ignition. So this is very, very important. What we're going to do is we're going to take it, it goes into your first big one, we stick it in there. Okay? So this, again, like I said, this is your main power cable. That's number 1. This next one we're putting in, it's an 8-hole. Now this handles all of your lights as well as handling opening and closing of the boot. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick that in there. If I can get it in, there we go. This one here is your main lights. Let's get stuck into this red one right here. Put that in there. Now these 2 grey ones handle the boots. Now some boots are handled up the front, like this particular car. So we don't need this particular wire. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop it off and we're going to attach it to these black ones here, like that. Yeah, we only need this particular grey one. Good. Okay, now we're going to do the third one. It's an 8-hole again, long. We're going to stick that in there. Now this particular one handles all of your locking systems in your car, so all the locking systems for the doors. Now some cars, this particular car doesn't need power for locking, so it's already got it. So what we're going to do is we're going to chop down, we're going to chop off these 2, and we're going to take these 2, I'm going to attach them to these black wires here for the main, for the earthing wires, these black earthing wires here. Yeah? So that's the first two, and then the last two of each color. The last two we're going to attach to the black. The first two we're going to cut them off. Okay, we're moving on to the fourth one. As you can see, there's a lot of wires here. We don't actually need all of these, so what I'm just going to plug that in here, and I'm going to go through. The only wires we need are the door wire, the ignition. This is for the boot. This one here is your brakes. This one here is for that one is for the internal lights, and we have one for the horn. So we're only going to use these 6 wires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wires there, okay? Great. Okay, what I'm going to do now is actually show you how to connect these wires and how to strip them and cut them properly. The first one we're going to do is we're going to connect the lighting cable together, like I showed you earlier. So that's connected. Then we're going to do the boot cable. We're going to chop it off here, get rid of that. We're going to connect that to the black earthing power cable. Alright, the next one we're going to do is we're going to connect the boot cable together. We're going to put that in, take out these bits of cable that we don't need. It's a little bit tricky to get out of there. There we go. And there's another one, a little bit tricky. Just got to give it a good push and just pull that out there. And we don't need these particular cables, so we're going to take them off and we're going to plug that back in. And then the last two we're going to chop. And then we're going to also connect them to the black power earthing cable. Like so. Make sure you've got a good connection happening there. Make sure they're really stuck, because it's going to earth these cables down that we don't need. And we're just going to give them a bit of electrical tape. Like so. And just wrap that around there. Make sure you wrap it around nice and good so that no wires are showing afterwards. Good, yeah. Just give it another little wrap there, and there we go. Next, we're going to do the door locking cables, and we're going to take the ones we don't need. So again, we're going to use the locking, we're going to use the door, the ignition, the brake, the boot, the interior lights, and the horn. The rest we're going to snip off. Alright, we go. Snip them off all nicely. Get rid of them, we don't need them. Bit of a tangle down the end there. There we go. Good. Alright, now we're going to bunch all them together so that they're not so strangely. You want to make sure you've got that none of the wires are touching there. We're going to make sure they're all good, and we're going to sticky tape. We're going to use some electrical tape to tape them together. Make sure you use enough tape so that they all stick together very nicely. There we go. Lots of tape, give them a good wrap. Just go around that light there, indicator, and we're going to keep wrapping it around a little bit more. Oops. Or not. Make sure you keep them not tangled. The more tangled they are, then obviously it's a lot more difficult later on. If you keep them untangled from the beginning, then everything's really nice and easy. So a little bit more tape on there. Good. Yep, and we've got that all taped up. Make sure you keep them all nice and taped up. Yeah, all the way down to the bottom. That way you avoid any future tangles. That's the way. Keep them all nice. We're going to pull that off there. And we're also going to take these two together as well. Good. Keep those taping. Make sure they're all nice and stuck together. You want to make sure that it feels like you've only got two wires in your hand. Yeah, there we go. Nice and taped up. We'll just tape these two together as well. You want to make sure you've got everything nice and neat. It's going to help a lot when you try and put them into the car a bit later on. When everything sort of sits properly and nice. Don't have wires going everywhere. And just cover those up. No, and tape them up nice and good. There we go. And this one as well. Okay. And we're also going to tape up this black wire, these black open wires here as well. These are earth wires, they're very, very important. Make sure you've got them taped up very good, and of course they're going to be touching metal in your car to make sure that all the electronics is being earthed. Very, very important. If you don't have it connected properly, they will have problems later. And there we go. So with this one here, there we go. Just going to tape that up as well. All those wires that you cut off as well, you can tape them up and keep them covered. That way you know you're not going to get any electrocution happening later on. You can make sure everything's taped up nicely. There we go. Okay, now we're about to proceed with the installation. Before we do that, we just want to put a few safety protectors around the car. First one we're going to do, just put a protective seat cover on. Because we're going to be working in the car, we want to make sure that everything's nice and clean and safe. Okay, the first step in obviously doing the installation is we're going to take out some of the stuff that's in the car. The carpet, put down here. Then we're going to take out a couple of bits of paneling. So the first one we're going to start here. Don't use too much force because you might break it. But we're going to get in here and we're going to pull out this bit of paneling there. Stick that down on the ground. And under here's all your electricals, so we need to take this paneling out as well. And we're just going to get in here. There we go. And take that out as well. As you can see, all the electricals are in there. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is take off this paneling here around the steering column. It's pretty easy. Just put the key in ignition here. There's a screw here. It's got to come out. One screw here. Put that down there. Another screw on the other side as well. Put down there. And there's a screw on the bottom here. Once we've done that, we've got to make sure you take the key out. Take the key out, bring the column back. There's a little flip here. Pull that down. And then you've got to take this off. Yes, I think that's what you're supposed to do. There we go. On this side. Take that out. And then this one here at the bottom is going to come out. And that's how you take the console paneling off there for the steering column. Put that down there. Then we're going to use the ratchet. There's two here, one here, one here. We're just going to take these off. Alright, and there's a screw here. Another one here. Let's just use a smaller Phillips head to get that out. Another one. There's another two under here that you need to get at. They're a little bit hard to see, but go. And there's one over here. There we go. Once that's out, we're just going to pull this whole section off. I've actually found there's actually another screw down here that I missed, so I'm just going to take that out quickly. Screwdriver, that's a bit easier. Come out. Alright. Then we get in here, just in here. Get that put in there. There's another one down here. Let me pull, and we come over here. Let me pull again. That's going to come out. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to find out what all these particular wires do. These are the main wires going to the steering column. They control all the internal electronics of the car. So we're going to figure out what each of these wires do. To do that, we're going to use one of these. It's got a pointed tip that can pierce through the outer casing of the thing to get to the wire underneath, and we can test the amps and the volts for each one of these. First, we're going to ground it. Then we're going to take our things. You're going to notice there's a light coming on in here. When the light comes on, that means it's got power. So first one, we're going to test orange here. No power. Green here. As you can see, the light comes on, there's power in that one. White, no power. Blue has power too. Now those are the two main power things. See, the pink has no power and the yellow has no power. Now we're going to turn the key into the first position. So I just want to quickly explain what I did there. While I was showing you these wires down here, what I did with the key. First off, the key was just in the non-position, and there was two wires that had current running through them. It's your blue and your green. Then we turned it to the first position. Lights comes on, radio comes on, so we have power coming on, and that was using the yellow cable. Then we turned it over into the next position. OEM comes on here, and the air conditioning comes out here. There was two cables. There was the pink and the orange. The pink and the orange cables. How to tell the difference between which one of these cables, which one does the lighting, which one does the air conditioner. We showed you when we turn the key to the start position, the air conditioning cable, the pink one, the power went out of it for a second. Yeah. When we turn the key to the second, the pink cable, the power went out for a second. So we know that the pink cable is in charge of air conditioning, not the control panel up here. And then of course when we turned the key to the ignition, the white wire lighted up, and the white wire lighted up, and that's the ignition. That supplies ignition. Plug that, get that going. Nothing at the moment, but when we turn the key, the light comes on. Yeah, so that's your ignition cable there. And those are the different wires we're going to be using today. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is find out which of these wires here controls the locking system for the doors in the car. Alright, again I'm using this. I'm just going to ground it up here on the steering column. And I've actually come in earlier and found the two wires. It's the brown one here and the blue one here. And again, as I touch them, you'll hear the car doors locking. So that's just going to go in there, and there we go, they lock. And this is for the blue one here, it's for the unlocking. Why is that not unlocking? Okay. Alright. The next wire we're going to sit that here, again I've already gone through it, but the next one we're going to fit that is the ignition wire that runs through the car. It's this green one here. Just going to turn on the car here. Let's get the wire first. As you can see, there's no light on at the moment. As soon as we turn the ignition on, the light shines up. So that's the ignition wire for the car. Okay, the next wire we're going to do is the brake wire. Again, I've already found it in here. It's this orange one here. And if you put it there, just pinch it on, wait 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Touch the brake. Oops. Here we go. Touch the brake, and it lights up. So that's your brake wire there. Alright, the next one we're going to do is we're going to do the headlights. So your lights here. Again, I've already found the wire, it's this one here. And as you can see, if we put this in here and turn on the headlights, it lights up. Yeah? Okay. Okay, the next one we're going to do is the open and close for the boot. The back, the trunk at the back, the boot at the back there. And again, just this wire here. Put it in there and there we go. Okay, the next one we're going to do, 2 wires here. Again, I found them out. You've got to go and test every one, but I found them out. And these are for your indicators. So, green one first. And as you can see, it flashes with the indicator. And then blue one for your other hazards, your right indicator. Okay, the next one we're going to do is we're just going to check out the wire for the horn. So again, we have to make sure we're grounded. There we go, nice and grounded. Now, it's up here in the steering column here. You're going to have to get under there, push, and pull. Comes out here. And I've already checked it, so I know which wire it is. It's this blue one here for me. So you have to go through and check them all yourself. As you can see, the horn comes on when I push. Okay, so the next cable we're doing, this cable controls all, it tells you when all the doors are closed in the car. So if a door's open, a little red light pops up on the thing saying your doors are open. So this controls knowing when the doors are closed. To test this particular one, we need to have a positive power output. So here I've got a positive power output. I touch this to here, and when I touch it to something metal, it lights up. So it's a positive output, and we're testing this cable for negative output. Okay? So I attach it in here. When the doors are closed, when the doors are open, lights on. When the doors are closed, the light goes off. Open and close, and the light goes off. So we know the doors are closed. There we go. So this same cable also controls the trunk and the boot. So you can tell you when the trunk's open or when the trunk's closed. So again, we have to connect it up to positive power. Here, as you can see, positive. So we'll just check this cable and close the, open the trunk. There we go, open and close. Good, open and close. Good, there we go. Okay, so we've now found all the different wiring and cables that we need so we can fit in the new gear car. So now that I've found the cables, the next step is obviously to install. Okay, what I'm going to do now is show you how all the different accessories fit onto the main controlling board here. First one we've got here is the Bluetooth antenna. Bluetooth antenna. That goes into your first slot just over here. So we're going to plug that in. Good. We've got Bluetooth antenna. The next one that goes in whoa, there we go. Next one that goes in is our antenna. It's just sitting over here. Fit that in there. Then we've got our temperature, a thermometer which goes in there, tells you the current temperature of the car, keeps the temperature regulated. Temperature thermometer in there. RPS, which goes in here as well. It's the next one. Then we have our shock sensor, double shock sensor, which goes in here. And then we have our RFID reader. Which is the next one that just comes right in there, green onto green. And then we have our push button starter, which goes in just here. And that's it. They're all the different accessories that plug into the system. We recommend that you put the Bluetooth antenna up here on your windshield and RFID tucked up here neatly under the seat. Because we want to put one of these press ignitions, we want to take the key column out. So the way we do that is we put the key in, we turn it around to the first, then we take this, and underneath the bottom here there's a small hole. We push that up into the hole, just a little bit of thing, and then pull, and it comes straight out. Very easy. Okay, there's one more thing I have to teach you guys to do today, and that's if your car's an automatic, you have to open this up and cut this wire that's in here. This little green wire you can see sticking up here. Just take out a pair of wire cutters, get it in there and give it a good snip. If it's a manual, you don't need to touch it. But if it's an automatic like a car is today, you've got to get in there and give it a good snip. Once it's snipped, just put the cover back on like that and off you go.
So I recommend that once you're finished, you put the console in this position. We do this so it's easier to add all the other attachments and their cables. Also, wrap up this long cable securely and safely. It's important to remember that all the cables we opened before, you have to re-secure. Tape them up nice and tight. This is for your safety.
Okay, I just want to show you how to link your key up to the system. First thing you have to do over here is push the ignition button. Hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we have to put the password in over here. 1. When it bleeps, flashes really fast, so you have to push the button. 2, 3, and 4. That's your password. Wait over here, it should flash twice. Oh, there we go. Stop, I don't know what to do next. Then we push this button here.
Lock.
Oh, lock. Okay, once it flashes, we're then going to push the button on each remote. And if you get 2 flashes, we're good to go. Okay, what we're going to do now is link up the Bluetooth app with the Bluetooth in the car. We go in here,
New gear car.
we push down the button and choose connect to device. Search for devices, and there it is, the New Gear Car app. We push on that one, and we have to put in a password, which is 4 ones. Enter, and it's going to link up there. Once it's linked, you've got full control of your car. Okay, now that we've connected everything to the car, everything's been installed properly, I just want to give you a quick example of how it operates and how it works. So we've got I'll go back. We've got the Netgear car app here. We open that up. You can see we're already connected. So now we can just use this. The doors are locked. It tells you that the doors are open. We're going to lock the door here. There we go. Door's locked. Can't open. Unlock the doors. There we go. We can also do the boot. Hold that down. Boot's opened up at the back there as well. We can also start the car engine from here as well. So hold that down. And as you can see, the car started up. Now if you wait 10 seconds without doing anything, it'll turn off again as well. Or we could turn it off here, just by pushing that. That's it, that's simple. Okay, now that we've installed everything into the car, just want to give you a quick run through the app so you know how it works. There it is, New Gear BT app. Just open that up. We're already connected to our New Gear car. As you can see, the doors are unlocked. We'll just lock them quickly. There we go. Locked. Unlock them. There we go. We can open up the boot here. Press and hold that for a second. Right. Let me just close that. And we can also start up the engine. The car started. Now that'll go running for 1 minute without doing anything. Or if you want, we can turn it off now by ourselves. Just by pushing and holding that. And it turns off. That's it, New Gear Car app. Okay, I also just want to show you how the key works. Exactly the same as the app. Lock. The car just locks. Unlock. The car unlocks. There's one other good thing here on it though as well. If you hold down the unlock for 10 seconds, it puts it into automatic mode. Now that means whenever you're away from the car, it'll lock automatically. Whenever you get close to the car, it unlocks. When I walk away, it locks again. It locks again automatically. So you can do that. Again, you can open the trunk, push that, close the trunk, and of course you can also start the car. Little button on the side with the key. Push that. There we go. Starts the car for you, and of course you can turn off the car as well. And the car will turn down. And that's it. Okay, now that we've installed everything into the car, I just want to give you a quick example of how the app works so you can see how it works. Netgear car, open it up. We're already connected to the Netgear here. You can do that by opening up this and connecting. But we're already connected. Now, as you can see, the car's locked. So we'll just unlock that there. There we go. Unlocked. Lock it back up again. Now, if the car's locked and I open it up and open the door, the alarm's going to go off. Yeah? Do that. Just unlock it there quickly. Lock it back up. Now, the other thing you can do is open up the boot. Press and hold. And the boot's open. Let me just close that quickly. And of course you can start the car here. You got to press and hold till you get, it says remote signal gone through, and the car starts up. Now the car will shut down after 1 minute if you don't do anything. Or you can turn it off here by yourself if you want to. Just push there, hold, and it turns off. And that's the app, guys. Thank you.